Today's topic will be on Parc Clematis. So why are we talking about this? Because it's also one of the mega developments that has been moving quite well in the past month. In fact, let's take a look at the numbers. Okay. As you can see over here, it's pretty much healthy transaction. Almost every day there are units moving even till now, considering that it's already 88% sold, and then units are still moving very fast. It doesn't mean that it's really a very good bargain. And if we look into the numbers, the number of units left and the total number of units, you have like what we see just now, about 12+%, 180 of them left. Most of them are left in the 40, the 4-bedroom and also the 5-bedroom, because the quantum naturally are a lot higher and hence not so easily digestible. In fact, the 5-bedders are going for around, I think, about 2.8, which a little bit more, you can even go up to an entry-level landed. So people may not want to get into a 99-year leasehold condo over here, but it really depends, because if the foreigners, they can't go for landed, then obviously you have choices like this. Okay. And as usual, let's dive into the supply factors on the macro level. Let's see. The red circle shows us that there's a 1 km radius over here. As you can see, there's a 1 km radius, and hence, do we have a lot of supply in the area? Let's see. We have, this is Parc Clematis, so 1 km radius around here. And how many do we have? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 of them. And out of these 16, are they small developments? Let's take a look. If we zoom in, right, I added the supply as usual. And then we take a look. This is Parc Clematis, which is already a mega development by itself, 1,468 units. Right beside it, we have Region Park, 276 units, Trilink, 755, 100 trees, 396 units, New West, 136, Carabel, 38. Pardon to be quite a bit of a distraction from the water garden sale, because the units have been moving, whether it's a good buy or not. We already mentioned in the other video, so let's not comment about that today. Okay, anyway, back to the supply over here. We have Monterey Park, 280, Botania 493, this one Infinity 9315, a Whistler Grand Park and Twinview are all generally quite decent size. I would say large development already. Then you have Waterfront 210, Faber Crest 360, and then the Park Condo, which is a freehold at 659 units. And all these add up together before we add in Parc Clematis, that already give us 5,926 units. And as we have seen already in the previous videos, that 5,000 is pretty much a threshold in that area. And since we have 5,000, a little bit of concern. And after that, we're still adding 1,468 units. That gives us a total of 7,394 units. Isn't that a big concern over here? I think so. When it comes to supply, for me personally, I will feel I wouldn't want to sink my money there if I'm looking for a property that can appreciate. But then again, not everyone buys here for property that can appreciate, because a lot of them are buying for this one, Lanhua Primary, because it's a reputable good school in the area. But is it worth sinking your money there, or can you instead rent a property instead? It really depends on individual priorities. But if you want me to put money there to for in hopes of appreciation, I would say supply side is quite a little bit of concern. Anyway, let's I put out a few in the immediate area of Parc Clematis. We have Trilink, Region Park, which is 99. Then we have 100 trees and New West, which are both a little bit more interesting. Their lease are 956 years. Why not 999? I have no idea. Maybe I'll try to find out another day. But quite interesting, 956, and both of them are also 956. And so these two are obviously not 99. They will be in a different class on their own. And then also Parc Clematis 99. Why I pull them out? Because they are in the immediate vicinity, the 5 nearest condo in around Parc Clematis. Okay, so let's take a look at the performance. We have US, which has on a big downtrend. Then we have Regent Park, which is quite old because as you can see, Regent Park TOP 1997. So as compared to Trialing, it's already 20 years old when Trialing was done. And Parc Clematis is going to be built in 2023. If this is not wrong, considering no other significant delays, that means Parc Clematis is just going to be 6 years older than Trialing. Okay, that means it's not that old. For those of you who've been to Trialing before, you realize it's still quite a nice condo. It is still quite impressive. Very clean. It's not like a resort style kind of like Parc Clematis. So it's a little bit more like a modern pool, and then I would say it doesn't feel like a overly cluttered place, but it's still quite nice. But later we will take a look at the performance. Generally for Trialink, right, you notice after 2013 it was launched quite high price, and then it dropped, probably because of the TDS thing, and then it kind of pretty much stagnant for, I would say, 5 years before it eventually went out a little bit. Then the other one will be 100 Trees, which is on a 956-year lease, and then didn't really exactly move too much over the past few years. I would say the past 5 years, it didn't exactly move, like it went sideways. Regent Park went sideways, which is understandable given that it is very, very old. 20 plus years in a condo aspect is considered very, very old. For 100 Trees is still P2013, newest TOP 2016. So over here, for those of you who are curious why it dropped so much, also, it's not like a typical condo where you have a lot of facilities. It's more like a mixed development. Okay. In fact, let me see whether I managed to dig out US. No, I didn't put it here. So anyway, for those of you who just want to take a look, just go to Google and then go and take a look at US. And I don't think it is very appealing. It is not a lifestyle, condo lifestyle that many people are searching for. And in fact, if I'm not wrong, those like Alexis are also like this. Alexis in the Queensway area, okay, near towards the Queens area. Okay, for those of you to take a look, and hence probably why it didn't perform despite the lease. And the next one will be our, then you have Parc Clematis over here, hovering above the rest. Okay, price trend, price gap, if you take a look at Parc Clematis and Trialing, is about a gap of, I would say, Trialing about 1490, and then Parc Clematis is about 1700 PSF right now, which gives us a gap of 210 PSF. And to be honest, the gap is not very big, but my concern is more of if Parc Clematis is pretty much stagnant, then is, if Trialing is pretty much stagnant for the past few years, will Parc Clematis run? That will be the problem. That will be the concern I'm more about. They are more into because as you know, supply could be one of the factors why it's not running. And also you have 100 Trees, which is like a 956-year lease condo, and they are not very far apart. They are just across the road, as you can see over here. There's an overhead bridge over here, which I'll show you later. That means it shouldn't be much of a concern, because if you walk over, it's not going to take too much time. Then, okay, this is the one. This is the, pardon the water garden thing. It's a little bit irritating, I must say. Okay, so let's say your Parc Clematis, if you really want to see about talk about the location, right? It's pretty much similar, other than one expressway difference. And if you walk here, example, if you go by walking, you can just cross the road and then there you go. Idea of these two. Okay, but the price difference you can take a look now. One is here, one is here. And then does it justify the gap? Because technically they are not very old. One is 2013, the other one is 2016. So I put on another few. They are a little bit more interesting. You have 100 trees again, and then Carabel, we have Monterey Park, and also Infinity. Why I pull them out? Because this guy is a 99 year for Parc Clematis, but this one is like we said just now, 956. Carabel is also 956. Monterey is a 999, and then Infinity, guess what? It's a freehold. So what is my concern over here? It is that actually, for those of you who have not really noticed, Parc Clematis is actually a 99 year in a freehold or 99 area. That could be like what we what we highlighted previously in Midwood, which is a cause of concern because if the price gap runs too high, example, if sellers want to exit at 1,009 next time for Parc Clematis, will they be troubled by the fact that there's such a big gap between a 99 year and a 999 year? And then will sellers be able to exit at 1,009? Okay, that can be a problem. So you can take a look. As you take a look at the supply again, let's see. This is Infinity freehold. For 10 year is also 956, Monterey 999. The Park condo, which is quite nice, quite large land also, it's a freehold. Of course, it's further away, but then again, it's still within 1 km radius. This is a 956. So you can see it's in quite a bit of, I would say, a danger zone. I wouldn't sink money in somewhere that is that I'm at a disadvantage. I will pick my battles. Why go and fight against somewhere that is cheaper than you with a much longer lease than you? Okay. Anyway, let's take a look at the performance. Because of these trends, because of what Parc Clematis is running at 1,007, you notice after Parc Clematis is launched, pretty much these freeholds started to run. Freehold or 999 started to run. And then at the end of the day, if you see this, how will you feel as a consumer? How will you feel as a buyer? Will you feel secure to go here? Guys will eventually catch up. I mean, the fundamentals of it is that fundamentally wise, these guys are much stronger because of the lease. Of course, the location may not be as close to MRT, but then again, the lease is always, people never have to worry about the lease problem. It's just maybe the condition of the facilities, the condos, which if the MCST is agreeable, they would have used the sinking fund to renew the facilities. It's not like that has never happened before. Of course, you must have a good MCST members to be willing to do that, and then to convince the residents to be able to do that. Okay, back to this. So you can see 100 pounds at Carabel now, despite the location just opposite the expressway, they are having a $350 PSF gap for a almost freehold development versus a 99-year freehold development. It has not always been like this. Parc Clematis at its lowest point used to be 1,006. And then you have 100 trees at Carabel, now it's about 1,003. 113. If let's say this and this, the difference is 200 PSF. Even then, I may not want to get in because 103, remember TOP 2013, and then the other one, Parc Clematis, is 2023. 10 years gap difference. If it's a 99 versus a 90, I don't mind. I will get it for 200 PSF difference. But if it's a 999 versus a 99, then I may think the other way. Okay, I'm thinking from a buyer's point of view. Of course, there are a lot of emotional buyer, but I choose to think like a little bit more like a logical buyer. There will always be people who buy at sky high prices. Okay, for various needs, maybe schools, maybe they don't want a place to stay, or really they really like the area because the parents stay there. Who knows? But ultimately, we want to widen the pool of buyers that are willing to get into the development that we are in. Because in case if we ever need to exit, we can be assured that we are able to control the price versus the buyers being able to control the price. Anyway, back to the supply thing in the area. Let's see, based on a master plan, pretty much Clementi area in the immediate vicinity, I don't see much new things going on, so I don't see too much of a development. All these are the names of the condo that we talked about just now. This one is the Park condo, and then you have 100 trees, blah, 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 all these. And that gives us a total of 15 condominiums in the area. If you take a look at the master plan, there are still some plots coming up there. This part, and this part. And if you take a look to the street directory map, here, here, and here, even this West Coast Cricket, they are going to put it, they are going to eventually remove it to put it as a residential zone. Okay, so interesting. It seems that the government is putting quite a bit of development plans in the West Coast area, but not within the immediate vicinity of Parc Clematis. So I don't see there are too much upcoming developments in the Clematis side. Okay, that's at least my point of view. And then this piece of land over here, I think very likely is a BTO because the plot ratio is 4.2. And then given that this BTO over here is 4.2 also, then likely this will be a BTO. I don't think this will be a condo over here. Okay, unless this becomes a condo, then and it launches at a much higher price, then maybe Parc Clematis eventually gap is big enough, then there may be a chance. Okay, let's take a look at the prices now. For two-bedder, the units are getting now is on sale for 1,000 to 1,800 plus. Whereas 3-bedroom, they are hovering around minimum 1,007. Same goes for the 4-bedroom. The sizes are similar for some reasons, and hence the price is about the same. Okay. Let's see. Let's go back to the chart. If let's say 1,008, that means if you are entering 1,008 for the 2-bedroom, I wouldn't suggest going to the 2-bedroom because you are entering here way above the competition. On the other hand, we have your the 3 and 4-bedder, they are around this level. So generally, the larger units, they shouldn't be too far below the 2-bedder. Okay, so if you enter here, there's still quite a significant price gap. Okay, so for those of you who are wondering why am I not confident in the area, because of TriLink. Okay, remember the trend of TriLink? Let's see, back to this again. For TriLink, it has been like this. Of course, the past 2-3 years, it managed to went up a little bit, but not significant. It's not like a trend that is gradual up. It's down, then up. And the thing is, okay, so if you take a look back at the chart just now, the numbers just now, these are the guys who managed to make pretty significant profits. It's not to say that the entire TriLink people lost money, because there are people who made money, but there are still quite a lot of people who, especially the first mover, who didn't make money. So that means that it's, the launch day isn't always the best time to get into the market. Okay, you have to really gauge whether is it overpriced or launch day price, because even now there are still some new launches that were priced, I would say, pretty incorrectly, and hence developer had to adjust the price downwards. Okay, you know which developments are there. Anyway, those that managed to get quite a decent profit, you look at the prices that they enter at 1,002 plus. And then the rest are getting in 1,003 BSF. So if we look at 1,002, 1,003, that will be around this level. That means those guys are, let's take a look at the blue line. For the 1,002, 1,001, that means there are the one that made the most profit. This guy got in at this level. Okay, he got in at this level, he exited near this level, and hence he made a big profit, $300,000+. And then the other guys who make $200,000+, they enter around this level, which is pretty much almost the bottom for TriLink. But for, let's say, now Parc Clematis, if you want to enter at this price, then I think chances of a profit are pretty much not exactly very favorable, I will feel. Okay. And maybe if you manage to get in at the rock bottom price last time, or maybe even slightly lower, about 1,005 plus PSF, then I think your chances of making a profit would be pretty decent. Okay, probably 200K, 300K, I think very likely. But then again, I wouldn't bank on it too much, because given the factors in the area. Okay. Yep. That's how I was saying just now. So this is around 1,003 plus BSF, and this is around 1,002. And there is also, remember the top guy, this guy, oh no, the second highest guy got in at 113, 1119 PSF. So actually be here, this guy over here. Okay, and then it went up. And hence, so today's sharing should be quite straightforward. My personal verdict is that if you want to get into this development, probably 2 to 3 years ago when it was launching, it was probably selling at 1,005 PSF. I think it's pretty decent. You could have considered, because the gap between the trialing, probably 1,005 here. That means I think let's say you manage to get in here, the gap isn't at far. So I think this would have been a pretty decent buy. Okay. But then again, so one thing is if you manage to get a 1,005 plus PSF, which is very good, but apparently now is already 1,007 to 1,008, which is maybe not as attractive in my terms. And then you also need to take into account that this is a 99 in a freehold or 999 area. Okay, and also super high supply issues of 7K plus units. So if I were you, like I mentioned just now, I wouldn't, if I'm an investor, or I at least want my home to appreciate, then I may not want to look at this area right now. Okay, unless of course they have a fire sale, which is very, very, very unlikely given how fast units are moving. But let's say if you really need a school, because some of them they really want the school, then by all means because you really need the location, and then your entire family or whole entire village stays here, then of course I don't think you have much choice lah. Of course you can, if you want something a little bit cheaper, you can look at the resale, but even then the resale has been moving very fast. So I wouldn't exactly advise getting the resale here as well, because let's say for 2019 last time, people were already buying at 1,000, let's say 300 plus, and then now it's about 1,480 PSF. There's an increase of 130. If this is the case, then resale may not be exactly too much of a good buy right now. The best time would have been this period. Okay, because nowadays there are a lot of people say, oh, resale is so much cheaper, why not get it cheaper? Yes, it's a lot cheaper, but given the fact that it has rose quite a bit, how much further can you run? Okay, that's my concern. But of course, if you really like the place, then pretty much go ahead. Okay, so I've come to the end of today's sharing on Parc Clematis. Any other help that you need? You need a bit of my views on other developments, or like some of you have already texted me, you need some help, then by all means, just let me know, drop me a text, and then I'll be happy to help if I can. Okay, if not, that will be all for today. Thank you, and then see you guys. Bye bye.